Today, I will go over 5 habits that I have outgrown in my 50s. Habit number 1 is people pleasing, external validation. This has been a huge one for me and one that I have seen significant improvement at the age of 50. I am sure that most women can relate, but we have this sense of expectation to where we're expected to make sure everyone is okay or everyone is happy. And of course, we want to be liked. And the fear of being disliked brings us to a totally different space. If we do not bend or compromise to make that person happy, there is a sense of guilt that is upon us. We are so wrapped up with pleasing others and making sure that we are liked, we ignore our feelings in fear of disappointing others. We fail to consider our happiness and our feelings. I've noticed a huge shift in how I seek self-validation. I have been in environments where people weaponize my need for validation against me. I have learned at 50 that other people's opinions ultimately do not matter. Now, obviously, I'm not saying to not care for other people. We all naturally care to a certain degree. The level that you should reach is you understand that other people's opinions should not dictate your life or dictate your decisions. Habit number 2 that I have outgrown in my 50s is emotional or mindless eating. I don't know about you, but for me in my 50s, I can no longer eat as I did in my 20s and 30s. I can no longer eat McDonald's at midnight, those Wendy's fries and that chili at 1 a.m. after the frat party. Any of that is over. I have to make healthier food choices. I can't eat as many sweets as I used to eat because my body in my 50s is not as forgiving as it was in my 20s and 30s. Focus more on the proteins and the essential nutrients that my body needs at this age. If I do have to go out or I'm somewhere where, say we're traveling, I will make healthier food choices. If there's nothing around but some McDonald's or Burger King, I may choose a grilled chicken sandwich versus a fried that I absolutely loved, used to love. I order a salad instead of that cheeseburger. Carbs, I love carbs. I think most women do, but I also had a serious sweet tooth. So I would find substitutions that would satisfy my sugar craving. Some grapes, I love that. I love raisins, oranges, just the fruits and vegetables. I know what my body needs, and at age 50, began to lose our muscle mass as we get older. Our bodies change, women's bodies in particular, the chips and the cookies, all that kind of thing. I had to reevaluate my choices. I no longer pick up those items in the grocery store. It's hard to skip that, but I no longer bring those into my home. So that way it's not a temptation. Really focusing on what my body needs, taking the right supplements, getting enough water, huge. Soda versus water. Well, I had a soda last night. Let's have water today. Alternate. Habit number 3 that I have outgrown in my 50s is not getting enough sleep. I think I'm preaching to the choir on this one. I have learned, I would say starting at the age of 40-ish, but definitely at the age of 50, I realized that I need at least 7 hours of sleep. 8 would be perfect, but 7 hours of sleep for me to be productive and to be my best self. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I had a blast. Sleep? What sleep? I didn't need any sleep. I was at every party, living my best life. That was good for the 20s and 30s. I feel so much better. I tend to get up earlier to start my day. And I've read an article, and I have to try to find that, but the earlier risers usually are the most productive, and I believe that. When I get that adequate amount of sleep, I want to get up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym, beat the crowds, get my cardio in, get my body moving, then come back, shower, drink more water, then start my day. I feel absolutely amazing. I can honestly say that. In my 20s, I could get 2 hours of sleep and I am good. I'm good all day. But when you are in your 50s, your body needs that rest to reset. This is a very important habit that I had to get into, and it has made a world of difference in my day-to-day activity, my functions, my workouts, just every aspect of my life. I can give more of myself to my family, to my husband. Habit number 4 that I have outgrown in my 50s, not exercising. This one is probably the single most important habit that I have incorporated in my life, especially at age 50. Moving your body is so important. Any kind of physical activity, preferably 30 minutes, just take a brisk walk. I work from home, but my days can be very hectic and it's a lot of just meetings and moving parts. With working remotely, the dynamic is a little different. It's easy to be at home and I can go and feed Layla, come back, and I find myself at the desk all day. Beautiful days, 75, 80 degree days, and I'm in the house, hadn't stepped outside. In my 50s, I put it on my calendar, schedule it. It's time for you to move. It's time for you to take a 30-minute, 15-minute walk around the neighborhood or get on my elliptical, any kind of movement. My thing right now is body pump in my gym class. I go 3 days a week. I know working out is essential for a healthy lifestyle. Diet and physical activity go hand in hand. Not only do I feel better after a workout, I'm ridding my body of those toxins. Exercise, stand here and do arm raises wherever you can do that. Walk up and down stairs at your home. Get in that physical activity. That is so critical at the age of 50. It'll make you sleep better. It's a stress reliever. You will be surprised of how that really takes away that stress. It removes it. Not all of it necessarily, but it helps tremendously. We have one body, we need to take care of it. Any kind of exercise has a direct effect on my mood. I feel happier. I feel stronger. It really has made such a huge change in my life. 40s and I wasn't moving a lot. I was here. I was working, cooking dinner, spending time with my husband in the evening. My husband would go to the gym, but I didn't. And once I said, you know what, I'm getting older, I went for my physical and my blood pressure was up, cholesterol was up. The light went off for me at that moment. And ever since then, I have been incorporating at least 3 days a week in my classes or any kind of cardio. Weight training is essential for women in their 50s as well. So I am always been a cardio girl, but now I'm incorporating weights, which is very critical. Lesson number 5 that I have outgrown in my 50s is spending excess time on social media. I found myself spending so much time just scrolling through social media pages, whether it be Facebook to Instagram to Twitter. You go through this rabbit hole and before you know it, it's time to wind down. It's time to go to bed. My day is over. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I find this relaxing while I'm under a blanket sipping on my tea, or even in the morning when I'm sipping on coffee. But nonetheless, it's time consuming. Instead of using that time just to scroll and ultimately for me, becoming more depressed when I see news updates, because let's face it, the news a lot of times is very depressing and it adds anxiety that you really don't realize. I could be utilizing my time in a productive manner. For example, my decluttering projects that have come to a halt all of a sudden. Moderation is key. What I have done in my 50s, I allot myself specific periods throughout the day to check social media. Maybe 15 minutes on my 15-minute morning break at work, or my afternoon at work, or better yet, the end of the day after I've cooked dinner and taken care of all my responsibilities throughout the day. I allow myself no more than 1 hour a day with social media. This has helped me tremendously with my mental health, more productive, just life in general is a lot better. In setting these boundaries here for myself with social media, it has really made a wonderful impact on my mood throughout the day. I feel happy, I feel free, as opposed to when I check social media during work hours where it can really throw my focus off. For me, I made the personal choice to lessen the time on social media and focus more on my mental health. Thank you, friends, so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button below and consider subscribing to my channel if you're so inclined. And if you like this type of content, please let me know in the comment section. And please let me know what you'd like to see of me. I'll be happy to oblige. And until next week, bye-bye.